Where's the countdown? Oh no, don't do the
Oh
countdown.
no.
That's fine.
Are you ready for this? Okay, we're done with that. We're done.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
So,
What's up? What's up?
hey everyone, welcome to the recap of episode 11. Can you believe we are already 11 episodes in?
I know.
This
Good
is
job, girl.
episode 11 of Take a Space podcast. Um, Schemes, scams, and
Recap.
chaos in the community. Yeah, this is the recap.
Mhm.
We go live every Thursday. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. We have people on Facebook and YouTube, and you can find. You can also find not that.
Okay. What are we
You
finding?
can catch up on the latest episodes. That's what I want to say. You catch up on the latest episodes where you are watching this live right now on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, Facebook or YouTube.
One of these days you'll get it together.
I am. I'm working on it. Hold on.
Facebook and YouTube is where you will find the latest episodes, or actually
And
all of the
wherever
episodes
podcasts are found. If you want to see the video versions, that's where it is.
on YouTube. Yeah.
Shout out to you before we get into that. Oh, wait, we have somebody else joining us. Look, it's Mike. Hey.
Hey. How are
Mike was
you?
host on this week's episode, Scheme, Scams, and Chaos in the Community.
Fun stuff.
Yes, always
Good
good
episode.
talking about economic empowerment, the downfalls we face. Yes,
Of course.
good stuff. You two have never met. This is my baby sister, Kayla.
Hey, baby sister Kayla.
How's it going? Hey, how are you?
I'm great.
So she's also one of the co-hosts. I'm sorry, I'm getting to the comments. So Jocelyn's here. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hey, Jocelyn.
Dad's on. He says he's here. Great.
What?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Thank you. We have. I wanted to give you a shout out, Kayla, because I've been seeing your posts. I am just looking for the banner for it. Hey, the buyer's journey on Instagram. Kayla talks about the way that she helps Daniel and Dylan communicate with the world. Daniel is autistic and he is learning how to communicate in very unique ways. So I think that's really cool. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to her channel. To her page on Instagram. She gives out some great advice and things that have helped her along the way. You guys are doing sign language, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's been very helpful.
And if you have not already, make sure that you are following Mike Perkins on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Perkins. And I don't know the other one. What is it? ORL?
ORL podcast.
I am going to put that in the description after I write that down.
And then also it's the other one is Mike _and_ Vince _
Oh, I forgot about that one. Wait, is it a Perkins before? Is it underscore before Perkins?
It's underscore. It's Mike and Vince Perkins, but it's underscore in between every word.
Got it. Okay, cool. So that's going to be in the description. Thank you so much for that. So the icebreaker that we're using was brought to us by Jocelyn.
Oh gosh.
Oh look, Drake's here. So the icebreaker today is how far would you go to make ends meet? Or what is the furthest you have gone to make ends meet?
Me?
Like to pay a bill. Like y'all can stop just looking at. Y'all can actually like enjoy the conversation.
The furthest I've ever gone is ask a family member. That's it. I don't have anything other than that. Ask a family member to to
Okay.
help me out. That's
I'm
it.
not saying that it has to be raunchy or anything.
Oh,
I'm just
fuck.
asking, like, what
The implications
like,
of that question.
I'm not. I'm not asking, like, oh snap, like,
Like,
how many limbs did you sell? Did you sell a
Right, I
kidney?
dropped it like it was hot. I don't. That's what I
Out there
did.
passing out the cookies? No.
Right. No. Nah. It was just normal business. Just asked a family member. That's the furthest I've ever went.
Okay, Kayla.
I think mine is not get groceries or something like that. Something along the lines of that.
Not getting groceries.
Yeah. Like
So
substitute, like exchange something out for it to pay my bill.
Oh, so you in order to pay bills, you did not get groceries that week or that period of time. Oh, okay.
Or now I think, or I feel like maybe the not biggest thing, but something I used to do all the time was ask for extensions. Like
I think that's like first step though.
Yeah.
I think that is first step. I don't think that is
oh no, that's to me that's the last resort for me is ask for extensions.
Okay.
Especially like give me 2 weeks. I got you. I hope.
You hope like in 2 weeks you have it. Let's see. Jocelyn said that she pawned her gun.
Pawned her gun.
It'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like it people don't think like it is that, but it'd be like that sometimes. What
about you?
I don't know the furthest. I'm trying to think the furthest. I know some things I have done. I started driving Uber. That's when I had to make ends meet, which is not bad. I've asked family. I have actually handwritten out a budget that took a while.
Did you stick to this budget?
No, I just wrote it out. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Stick to a budget? What? And I'm trying to think what else. What have I done to make ends meet? I don't know. I think that's really it. Like I try to live as within my means as possible. Because if I don't have it, I just don't have it, and they're just gonna have to come find the car. Like that's just it. They're just gonna have to come find me. Like that's just it. That's just it. Let's see. Drake said overdraft debit card in college.
You're not your debit card.
Okay, all right. I mean that's normal. That's normal. Dawn's here. Hey, hey, y'all. I plead the fifth. Oh, Dawn. What? Okay. All right.
That must mean that must mean OnlyFans. That's what I'm assuming.
You're just gonna assume OnlyFans for Don? Don, you out here putting out OnlyFans?
I'm sorry, Don.
Who else? Oh, Drake said that he also sold CDs and other stuff in high school. But I think that's a part of a hustler's mentality. Like I have always I will braid hair, I will get clients, I will tutor, I will do but those are not I think those are within the those are within the realm of so you picked up a side hustle. Like you didn't have to go to an extreme. Oh, Don, you plead the fifth again. Is there truth?
OnlyFans. I knew it.
Oh, Don, we got some talking to do, girl.
Just tell her come on. I don't have to talk privately. That's weird. She already just admitted it.
She put it out there, so everybody wants to know.
Let me see if she wants to hop in. Let me see.
Yeah, Dawn should hop in. For that. For the plead the fifth on the OnlyFans.
Oh, she said she's not there yet. Dawn, what is girl? I know being a teacher is rough, girl, but come on. Oh, Drake says, hey, y'all can't. Oh, y'all do teach. Okay, y'all both on Facebook. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because I was like, hold on, somebody's on. Yeah.
Somebody's in the same place.
No, because at first I thought because she was initially on YouTube and then she's on Facebook, but then Drake said what's up and they were both on Facebook. So yeah. Yes. So there are listen. we making it happen. So there are a lot of things that people do to try to like stretch their money, make ends meet, or keep whatever it is that they have, especially when they're living outside their means. Which brings us to this week's topic. Mike has a background in finance as well as I do. So we've seen a lot, especially working in the branches, of people not having it, acting like they got it, willingly taking the overdraft hit just to try to stretch it out, knowing that it's going to charge back. Oh, hey, Janae. So we talked about first, and if you haven't already, please make sure that you check out the episode. Again, you can find it wherever you're watching. So if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you can definitely find it there, and wherever podcasts are found. Watching it again, Mike, you saw it again? I know that I posted clips.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched everything up to that. Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. So what are some things what are some highlights that you would want to mention as far as what people should know or take away from that episode?
Okay, so a few things. One of the things is the like the pyramid scheme thing. So really that's most of it. The pyramid scheme thing, just know on pyramids. Like, how about just know? People are trying you with the pyramid scheme because they sense hopelessness, they sense desperation. That's a very big point. Nobody comes to the hood and gives business opportunities to people they don't know. So you just got to be kind of weary of that. Not to say you're not smart, not to say you're not enterprising or you're not a hard worker. It's just nobody does that. That's just not how it works. The idea of the credit score being a fugazi, that's a big point as well. For all the math heads that are on here, there are 5 categories for credit scores, 5 unknowns. The end result is a number. For all my mathletes, my math heads, if you have 5 unknowns and the answer is a number, you should have a system of 5 corresponding equations to go with that to get you to the answer. I put $100 in anybody's pocket if they can give me the 5 equations. They don't exist. They just don't exist. So the credit score is not only a fugazi, it's just an opinion. And to be plugged into that system, I know that it props you up because, you got a car and it's $40,000, but you didn't actually pay the $40,000 yet. It props you up, and that's fine, but you lose in the end because, to another point, compound interest, the 8th wonder of the world, I messed up on that. And that quote is accredited to Albert Einstein because either you're aware of it or you're not. And that means that either you're paying compound interest because you don't know, or you're earning it because you are aware of it. And debt just has you paying out compound interest. So you can't really escape that. You either on one side or the other. Choose to be on the right side of it. And let's see here, what else? I think those are the 3 major points, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was, like I said, I remember it being interesting, but it was a lot more interesting than even I remember. So thank you for having me be a part of that. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Dawn said, yep, that was my thing. I lost $500. I'm assuming you're talking about in the pyramid scheme.
The pyramid, the susu, the pyramid susu.
How, Dawn? She says, I was dumb. Dawn, we're not, you were inexperienced.
They got you. It's all good. It's all good.
Dre said, but it works for them. Yeah, it works for the people who can actually make something. Yeah, that's right.
You know who it works for? It works for the people at the top. So that's another point that we have.
Very true. Yeah.
So the people at the top are locked into residual income or locked into passive income, so that every little bit that they get from you at the bottom is just icing on the cake. So I wouldn't say that it works for them. They created the system and created the value. So if they created the system and created the value, then you really, it's not necessarily work. I mean, they're getting people, so of course it works for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're fooling people, but it doesn't work at a certain level. At a certain level, it just stops working. You know, it stops working when it gets to the west side of Detroit. It stopped working.
Which, by the way, has gone on sale for $36.99. You can buy a block for $36.99. If you pay in installments, they'll actually give you a discount. So,
wow.
A block of
start
what?
looking at property in Detroit.
Property in Detroit. Don't worry about it. Don't listen to Leah.
Hi, Tamara. Welcome.
You cannot buy a block in my city for that much.
$36.99, $36.99. Listen, and if you bring cash, they'll do it for a dub. So you'll be all right. Jocelyn says, knowledge is key. Thanks for the breakdown. Dawn, it happened in college.
In college, yeah,
it was years ago.
And also what happens in college is the credit cards. They give you credit cards. It's almost like a rite of passage. They give you credit cards that say, here's a free t-shirt and a pen. And you sign up with that pen and you take that t-shirt and the $2,000 balance and you blow it. It's just
very quickly.
It's poor practice. I mean, you know, and again, it's scary. I know a lot of people hold on to debt because if you have to get rid of it, then you ultimately have to bet on yourself, you know? And, you know, I'm on the side of betting on myself, you know, at this point, and just betting on solid decisions. And there's nothing I can't do on this side with no debt that anybody can do on the other side with debt. I mean, there's no like boundaries or no, you know, what are my obstacles, you know, that are in my way that I can't, like I could still do everything that everybody else can do. So I would just encourage people to unplug from the system as much as possible, because, you know, that system has been in operation for a very long time, and it doesn't care about you. You know, it doesn't care about you. I mean, like redlining was banks, you know, discriminatory lending, that was banks, you know, predatory lending, that was banks. Some of the bigger banks have been like, you know, they've been guilty of that. They've been fined because of it, and they're still in operation. So just, you know, you can utilize the banks. I'm not saying forget the banks completely, but their practices, some of them are just so old that they're just grandfathered in. So, you know, kind of try to unplug from them and utilize the bank as a tool. Don't utilize the bank, you know, for, you know, just going into tens and hundreds of thousands of debt, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, brother.
I assume that's what it was. So one of the biggest things that I saw, I recall from the episode is the entrepreneurship that everybody wants to get into, because we talked about how a lot of people are just like, I don't want to punch a clock for the rest of my life. I don't want to work for anybody else for the rest of my life. I don't want to do this. But then they haven't taken the time to develop a skill set that they can profit on. So they really just developed a skill set of complaints, and this idea that if I buy into a pyramid scheme, or I buy into a susu, or I buy into whatever the juice bro people are, like whatever it is, like they'll
juice bro.
Yeah, it's just whatever the health thing is.
Leah, they got Leah. Just go ahead and tell them.
They didn't get me. They tried. And it's always weird, because they'll start, because I'm a talker. I talk in various areas. It's very very hard. Now during COVID, I don't talk as much, but when I'm in a group, like at the airport or whatever, just to randomly start talking to people because I'm bored and there's nothing else to do. We're waiting for a plane. It's time to talk. And people will see that as a good sign, like, oh, snap, you will be a very good person to be on my team. Okay, antennas up. What are we talking about here? What team are we talking about here? And it's like, the more you ask them questions, they're like, well, come to this event, or check out this website, or take a look at this video. There was one that was so bad. I remember in Texas, I was this guy's Uber driver. He gave me his card, and he told me to watch this video and give him a call afterwards. So like, I think I sent it over to Ma, and it was like watching an 80s video on acid. It was so much, I don't even know how to, it was so bad. It was just like so much information. You can make 7 different types of income from the same thing. You just get 2 people, they get 5 people, they get 15 people. It's like a whole thing, but then they tell you it's not a pyramid scheme, and they tell you that you get to actually like have control of your financial freedom. And it was like Sunday, 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 and it was just like it was super ridiculous. And I was just like, at the end of the video, what is this? What are we doing here? But people are actually buying into it because they want to, even though they don't have it. But just like Dawn, give them $500 to get started. You get your kit because you're promised whatever success. Yeah. And I think you made a very good point in the episode, was that you don't know how much that $5 or that $500 is worth to someone who is on level like at the apex, you know what I mean? So you may put in $500, but that could be worth like 100,000 to that person, depending on what it is.
I was just I was on another podcast. I wasn't on the podcast, but I was listening to another podcast, and he broke down what money is worth, in different age ranges. So they broke down that at 20 years old, every dollar is worth $88 by the time you get 65. And that's just, that's if you're investing and not really even you don't have to be Wolf of Wall Street to make it happen. You just put it in a growth stock mutual fund, and every dollar at 20 is worth that amount. And again, that's 88x for every dollar. You never know how much your dollar is worth to this person. So you may be giving them 5 and it may be worth, and then also too, you don't know how much that $500 is worth to you as well. You gotta, it's tough that people are out here to trying to fool you like that, but they're tried and true ways to kind of make money, tried and true ways. You know what I'm saying? The market on average yields maybe like, let's say 8%, 8 or 9% on average. That's what the market just yields on average. If you had a business and it yielded 8 to 9% every year, I would say you have a good business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say you have a good business, growing 8 or 9% every year. That's good. You know what I'm saying? And cost of living, paying out your employees, all of that stuff. That's a good amount to grow every year. And you don't have to be technically an entrepreneur to actually do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a stream of income. So you are meeting the requirement of you need multiple streams of income, but you're not meeting the mark of I sell t-shirts or I sell cups or, I have a restaurant or whatever, like you don't have to do that.
Yeah. I think that that what a lot of people, if there's like a shame, I think, when it comes to finances, that people don't want to talk about it. So they never learn how to grow out of that habit of losing money in whatever it is. So they, instead of like I'm pretty sure like that everyone here has skills. Kayla, you have art skills and they're amazing. Mike, you can work in finances, but you're also really great as an orator and talking to people. And I think that even using those skills, you can build those with another set of skills in business management, because that's a whole different set of skills. You can have your own business if you wanted to. And instead of giving somebody else, that $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 to be a part of their susu, their lotus, their flower, their whatever it is, to be a part of whatever that rank is. Oh, just give me $100 and I'll give you back 8. Like, on paper, show me how that's supposed to work. Show me what that is supposed to be, because when you give me back my 8, am I then out, or do I have to before I get my 8, do I have to bring in 2? Like what are the catches there? But if you bet on yourself, not saying that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, not saying that everybody needs to have a side hustle. Some people like going to work, coming home, punching the clock, having their one check, and they're good. But as far as if like right now, COVID has stopped. And I mean, COVID has stopped a lot of things. But we're finding that people are being more creative in the way that they make money. But like making masks. Who knew there were so many seamstresses in the world?
Yeah, it's a lot of
Who knew? Who knew? I mean, people are selling mask patterns. People are, like they are profiting off of any and every little thing that they can buy. Like the guy who tried to, mark up hand sanitizer, and so Amazon shut him down, and he was because he was selling it for like hundreds of dollars. Like, wait, what?
Hand sanitizer?
Yeah. Like when it all started, it was like back in March, April, and people were like buying up all the toilet paper, and he was like, I'm gonna buy this hand sanitizer. And there was no more hand sanitizer, so he waited until there was a huge demand. And Janai says, I still can't sew. No, I don't have any intention of learning. That's a skill I don't have to learn. But I think that it is like in this time, and I don't put pressure on other people like, oh, during this time you need to read X amount of books, you need to learn so many languages or whatever the case may be. People don't know what it's like living your life, so they can't tell you what's to be expected. But I think that financially you have to figure out what that success looks like for you. And it may not be the yachts and the private jets and the vacation every 2 weeks. That would get very tiring very quickly. But I think that identifying what success looks like for that to you, and also building a sustainable, because the lotus flower thing is not sustainable. You may get it one time. After that second time, it's like, for me, it's too much like a payday loan. That's just me. It's just it's too much. It's too much like it's way too much like a payday loan. So getting into something like that, give me 100, I'll give you 8, or hey, join I was invited. This is the crazy thing. I was invited to go to a Amway situation. And for those who don't know, Amway is like I'm trying to think what it's like. It's a multi-level marketing thing. It's another one of those pyramid schemes. And
you went?
Yeah, I went
voluntarily.
Yes. Listen,
why?
I was bored.
Maybe you don't know this much about it.
I was bored. Okay, I was like, oh, I'm sitting in the car dealership. Meet the guy. The guy was like, oh, you seem to have a pretty good handle on things. And like the airplane story, that's true, but it just happened at the car dealership. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. So I went and I sat there and I was just like, you people are special kind of.
Really?
Like, I'm just like, I'm looking around. I was like, nobody else thinks like this is crazy. Like, so they get these people to come up and talk about the financial freedom that they found. And one person, it was like, I graduated college at 22 and I was able to retire at 25 and I don't have to work anymore. And it's like, that's not realistic. Like, what do you...
People
no. So being a part of those things, it's like you are doing more damage to yourself financially than actually trying. Like you have to buy so much of the product to even try to break even. And then by the time you sink so much money in the product, you're like in the hole already. So there are sustainable ways for you to make money.
Yep. And also too, to add to what we were talking about the pyramid, there are things that by itself are not pyramids. Like I was talking about Forex trading. I still don't know the thing. Nutra, I still didn't look it up and find out what it was. But it's like a health and wellness like powder, It's
like, it's not Nutrilife. It's I know what it is.
But somebody in the chat then, just if we're talking about it, just post it,
put it out there.
But it's like them two on their own, they're not actually pyramids. You know what I'm saying? Like the product is actually not a pyramid. Forex trading is actually just legit. But the business model and the way that it's set up is pyramid.
Yeah,
It's an actual pyramid. So
right.
you can't present it and say, oh, this is not a pyramid because this is legit. Of course it is. Of course, if you sell something and then you get back money, that's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the business model is not set up, like normal. It's set up like a pyramid. And it like Leah is saying, or like I'm saying, it just doesn't benefit you long term because you're not chasing value, you're chasing money. And then you'll fall out of love with it. I don't know anybody who started with Forex or whatever in any pyramid scheme and stuck with it long enough to even turn a profit. Like, it's just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You chase value. You don't chase, you don't chase money. You chase value, the money will come. It's simple. It's very simple. You chase something you love, if you're into arts, if you're doing hair, again, like the example I gave on the thing is on the episode here. This is the Midwest capital for hair, like the Midwest capital. So what we're talking about is girls who were 10 years old doing hair and then decided to say, okay, cool, I've been doing hair for 10 years. Now I'm going to go to cosmetology school, get certified, and do hair professionally. But it's attached to a passion. It's attached to a value system. It's not attached to just making money, because if it is, then you'll quit. You'll quit immediately.
Yeah.
It won't last long.
Think about how many jobs that you had, like in corporate, that you're like, you know what? I'm getting a paycheck for it, and I've been chasing up this ladder for a higher paycheck. I don't like these people. I do not like what I do. I don't want to be here. It's the same thing.
I hate it here.
I hate it here. Jaden, all Jaden Smith. I hate it here. Nah, man. And then it's the chasing of the money that makes you lose sight of, what actually is important. I mean, we all want financial freedom, but I mean, at what cost? Because is it really freedom when, you're slave to the dollar? Is it really freedom when you're slave to a car or slave to, anything? Is it really freedom? It's just not freedom.
What were you saying, Kayla?
No, I was going to ask. So you know how they always put out, whatever you give me, I can triple it or double it. Why they never put the end result out? I want to know what happened. Did you make your money? Did you not make your money?
They generally do, but what they do is they just it's fake. So what they'll do is just show you money. That's it. They'll just show you dollars, and they'll have a friend say, "Oh, it's real," and just show you money. Like, they gave me $100, and then I turned it into 1,000, and they'll just show you $100 in a picture. They show you $1,000 in the next picture. It's like, like, oh wow, that must have really worked. Like, but it's just pictures. You know what I mean? Whatever.
So it's very pointless.
Pointless.
Oh, and I think that one of the biggest takeaways is to find out. Oh, hold on a second. She said, "What is the biggest financial mistake each of you have made?" First of all, I did not come here to get called out like this.
How do you pronounce her name? Pronounce the name?
Jindai.
Jindai. Yeah.
No, Jin.
Dai.
E.
Jindai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I ruined your name. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. My bad. But I think Leah should go first.
I don't know. Like, the only thing that comes to mind is I don't think it's a big financial mistake. My issue is that I know that I'm always going to make money. So I can blow through money very quickly because I know I'm going to make it back. I always I know that I'm going to make money regardless. I think probably the only thing that comes to mind right now is upgrading my car because I was upside down. And so instead of just paying off my car and keeping it, it was an 09 Camry. I wanted the 16 just because it was newer. That's the only thing that actually comes to mind is like a big financial mistake that I would probably make it again. I'm not going to lie. I would probably make it again.
Why?
Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
We can't be hypocrites on this live here. Come on.
No, if I went back, I more than likely would make the mistake again, but just so that it would hurt, because I know now, like, because once I pay this car off, it's gonna be a minute, like, before I just like, oh, let me get a brand new car. Like, unless I can buy that car cash, I'm not gonna go and just like up and buy a new car. But I needed that hurt to like know that, oh, maybe I don't need to be upside down.
Maybe you don't need to be upside down. That is. And then I think it's Kayla, right?
Yes.
I think that she should go next.
So first of all, he did not just come on here to try to host like our show.
I'm curious to hear what you have to say, Mike, because you said 20 years ago or something, how long ago it was, that you made over $5 million worth of mistakes. So I want to know.
In the 20 years that I've been an adult, I've easily made $5 million worth of mistakes.
So what was your biggest one? Go ahead. What's your
biggest
answer?
one I did? The biggest, big is relative. So
yeah.
Let's see. To have a job while I was making $70,000 a year and not invest any of it, that was bad, right? But also out of fear, I cashed out my 401k from that same job.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And it was just fear. It was just fear, and I didn't know what the future held. And I made that bad decision. And it wasn't like I was like, well, I was broke relative to net worth. I was busted. You know what I'm saying? Because my net worth, I was in debt and all kinds of things. But relative to money in my pocket, I didn't feel broke. You know, I still was making good money, but I didn't see the value in investing. So, and when I say 5 million, people ask me like, you made $5 million? No. Back to the example of at 20 years old, every dollar is worth 88 relative to that example, you know, and when you're at 30, every dollar is worth like $56. So relative to those two examples and so on and so forth, I probably messed over in my lifetime, you know, up to 40, that, you know, like $5 million, because it just like the numbers suggest that that's easily what I messed over. But 401k, cashing that out and just blowing through the money I was making when I worked at, you know, when I was making 70 a year. Yeah. Lesson learned. You know, I won't do it again. I wouldn't. If I could go back and tell myself, I'd be like, hey.
No, some of those lessons you gotta hurt. Like I gotta hurt.
And it hurt because I'll put this on it. I was only because I just wasn't aware. I was only putting maybe 2% into my 401k because I wasn't really aware of it. And they matched up to, I think, 6. So I was only putting in 2. They was matching the 2. And then after that, it was the amount of money that was in it just with me putting in 2 was ridiculous. But I was just like, what if I had been paying attention and I had put more in there? You know, and then they had the option of not only 401k, but they had the option of Roth IRA, you know, which is pre-tax, you know, or not pre-tax. They tax it and then pre-tax and then it goes in there. It'd have been ridiculous. The amount of money that I
tax before or tax after, because
it'd have been taxed before with the Roth IRA.
Oh, so that's post-tax.
Yeah, that
because 401k is pre-tax, Roth is post-tax.
Roth IRA
so that you don't have to pay for taxes coming out.
You don't have to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying, on the back end. That I had that option. Didn't take advantage of any of that stuff. It's just I was ridiculous.
Out here being reckless.
Reckless. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I even had a lot to show for it. I had a lot of good times and experiences, but I don't have like a BMW to show for it or nothing like that. I did buy the Kanye's though. They were like $420 or something like that. I bought.
Sorry, y'all not talking about me no more. Nope. Nope. Y'all not talking about me no more.
I was in hurt. I was in hurt land.
Nope. No,
Yep.
I'm not
I
talking
bought
about
those. I bought the Yeezys, and I bought the Jordan 3s, the Jordan from the free throw lines.
Okay.
I still got the Jordan from the free throw.
We're moving on. Nope. We're moving on. No, we're moving on. We're moving on. KK.
I don't even know if I want to answer anymore. I'm so stuck with why you bought them doggone shoes. Anyways,
This was when Yeezy was Yeezy. This is before MAGA had Yeezy.
No, there's no justification for it.
Yeah, there's not.
It was the foam posits. It were the Yeezy foams.
That means absolutely nothing to me.
Because you don't have a shoe.
Listen, even if I had it, it would mean absolutely nothing to me.
Do you wear them every day?
I wore. You know what? I had them. Maybe it had to be at least because I'm 40. By the way, it had to be at least 10 years ago when I got them. So
you don't wear them every day still?
I wore them a lot.
So what happened to them?
I mean, they older now. The Jordans though, the Jordans I still have. They're in like mint.
You put a whole car note on some shit.
I know.
I'm so good.
But see, in our today land, we don't have car notes.
But see, here's the thing though, right? You could have taken that $420 and just bought up half the city, and you would have been straight.
See,
you could have had land.
Detroit is not cheap. All right, Detroit is not cheap. Detroit was the richest city in the United States. What
year was this?
You gonna stop with all the haterade. All the haterade situation. You gonna stop. It looks bad on you. Hate looks bad on you. Love looks better.
I'm just saying. I just gotta put it out there.
No. Detroit West Side.
No. Oh no. Oh, please no. Don't be that guy at the barbecue. KK.
Yes, I can help you.
What was your biggest financial mistake? And it's interesting because you're younger.
I'm only 25.
So, yes. So starting from now where you're a whole different place than you were 10 years ago. So what do you think your biggest financial mistake has been thus far?
I remember I was 19 and I was going to take out a loan to get a car. I took out the loan, didn't think I had to pay it back. Yeah, I took out the loan, didn't pay it back, and I did not know that I will still get hit for late payments, but then on top of it, I'm still getting interest fees as well. I didn't know that. I thought that whatever amount I owed was going to stay the same, and nothing happened until it hit my credit. I was just like, oh, really, guys? So
y'all bringing up old stuff? Really?
I have so many questions.
Yeah, I took out the loan.
Listen, y'all
are real life sisters.
Mine was the least severe. Good Lord, how? Yeah. I don't even know how do we? Okay. Did you sign paperwork?
Did you sign paperwork? It's good.
I did.
But how did you not know you would have to pay it back?
Look.
What
okay.
did you think a loan was? A grant? You thought they were just giving out free cars?
Okay, because my mindset was, look, I need a car. I just started working, so I'm gonna take out this loan. Okay. I know they say after 7 years it will fall off your credit. So
wait, you missed so many things. There were so many. Oh,
so that was my process right then and there.
Listen, people. If you take nothing else from this, ask questions, please, for the love of everything.
Really.
so Janae says, okay, let me rephrase. Didn't you read the paperwork? Not just sign it. Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't care. It was just the fact that, hey, I got approved. I'm getting this loan.
Jocelyn wants to
I'm not alone.
Let you know you are not alone.
Yeah.
I'm finding out a lot about my family.
I am here with you.
I am finding out a lot about my family right now.
But also definitely when you get that offer, what is it called? Like say for instance, if it's you owe 8,000, but then you can pay off like 3,500 of it to be done with.
Oh, the
Oh,
collection.
the settlement. Yeah.
Settlement.
Collections.
Take the settlement. I didn't take the settlement.
Wow.
Okay, wait. So not oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wants everyone to know, even though we come from the same parents, that she is not related to us for some reason.
I'm not related.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
my
Same
biggest question.
parents, but we're not related. I just have so many questions about the
I haven't
settlement.
made that mistake ever again. So
See, it has to hurt. It has to hurt. When you're upside down, it hurts. When you pull out your 401k too early, it hurts. And so you know
Too
to
early.
recover later on.
I was 28.
Just like, look, we just listen. Balls to the wall, whatever it is.
Yeah, I was bugging.
I don't know why Jocelyn knows this, but
Jocelyn will offer another one.
They will always offer another one.
No, they do.
Yeah, because what
collection agencies kind of work like this. They buy the debt from the creditor and they buy it for pennies on the dollar. So that whatever they get from you is icing on the cake. They're trying to get the whole amount.
Yeah.
You know, but usually they don't, you know, and if you negotiate the amount, let's say, you know, even 50%, you know, which for most people is like, man, I can get half off. But for them, they probably only paid 30% for the actual debt. So try to negotiate them down as much as possible. Start at something ridiculous. Like if you owe, for example, if you owe $2,000, start at $5,000. See what they say. You know, if the collection agency is at, you know,
$5 or 500.
500.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
say $5. Shoot.
I was like, no, because I owed what did I owe? I owed like something like $300, and they were like, "What do you have?" I said, "Lady, I have $32.86 in my account. Do you want $30? Because I need $2 to cross the bridge." She was like, "Well, can you get the rest?" No, I cannot. And I was able to get off and like pay 10% on whatever it was that I owed and paid. And I'm sure it had been bought and sold multiple times by the time it got to this person's desk. Janai said, maybe I should have asked another question because y'all putting all y'all business out there.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I own it. Ain't nobody else paying my bills. It's me. It's fine.
Yeah, but the thing of it too is that, you know, a problem shared is a problem solved. So if I share with you what I went through, hopefully you don't do the same thing. You know, it's like, you know, Mike did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that. Bars.
Did you just I just take that rap line? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Janae said, I was told you can dispute something in collections because you never signed a contract with the collection company. I want to say yes and no, because depending on what their legal team is looking like, because, okay, here's the thing. Collection companies, a lot of times, especially since it's so easy to just buy out, because what they'll do is they'll buy like 1,000 accounts from, let's say Capital One or whatever, right? So they'll just buy 1,000 of their charged off accounts for pennies on the dollar. But the people who are buying them out are like lawyers doing like a side hustle or something like that. And so they don't really have like a full-on team to take you to court to say, hey, you have to pay this. That's why it's bought and sold multiple times over and over and over again, because if they can't collect, they'll just sell it to the next company to buy. So you don't necessarily, so I don't think that it's necessary that you can dispute it in that. What I do though, if anything goes to collections, I dispute it anyway, because it makes them have to actually get the paperwork, which takes longer than 30 days from whatever the original company was, so that they can say that it's actually mine. But by then it's like falling off my credit report.
Yeah. And then too, you want to make sure to not get on any kind of payment plan with the collection agency.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Jocelyn wants Kayla to make sure she writes this down. Kayla, make sure you are taking notes. You may need this. And to all y'all out there, I want to thank y'all very much for tuning in. This has been a recap of episode 11. We are at 11 episodes, y'all. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you like the Facebook page and that you are a part of the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, and the Twitter. I am more active on Twitter. If you want to reach Kayla, it's either through Instagram or Facebook. Make sure that you follow my people. Hold on. I'm going to do it again. I got to find it first.
Really?
Okay. The Buyer's Journey. Make sure you go and support her. Daniel was doing really well. He learned 5 signs already.
Help, want, please, thank you. More. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, 5. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure you follow Mike at Mike Perkins on Twitter and Instagram. And Opinions Are Like Podcast. That's ORL Podcast. And
that's
Mike
Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yeah, that's Twitter for the RIL Podcast. And then the Mike and Vince Perkins, that's Instagram.
All that good stuff. Make sure that you're watching it, so you see it. You know what it is. You see
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yes, that's what the visual. That's what it is.
That's what it's about.
If you haven't already, please make sure that you are on. Please make sure that you are on YouTube. If you haven't, please subscribe. Ask a friend to subscribe. Make it like a pyramid scheme, y'all. Get a friend to subscribe to the YouTube. Tell them to get 2 friends to subscribe to the YouTube, and then that way everybody can subscribe to the YouTube because we're only 46 away from making 100. Our goal is to get to 100 before October. So y'all can definitely help. We have Debate This coming out. We actually had an episode. Janae was on it. She was a judge. Episode's coming out in a couple weeks. This episode was Beyonce does not have classic music. So make sure that you tune in. Leave your comments. Mike, I don't know what that face was.
I saw that the latest one. I haven't listened to that one, but I saw it and it made me frown. It made me frown.
Before you make a decision, listen to the arguments that are made.
I'm gonna listen, but I don't like it already. I'm already like, come on, man, come on.
I'm just saying, does she have classic music? Is it classic?
Okay.
Is it classic?
Y'all playing. You playing.
I'm just saying. Listen, we gotta put the questions out there.
Yeah, you got some people you just gotta leave alone. But I'm gonna let you slide. I haven't saw the episode yet.
Oh my gosh.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. We'll be here next Thursday, live again. As close to 7:00. We have been doing better. We have had no issues today. So, keep it coming. We'll be back next week at 7:00 and new episode drops on Tuesday. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
Bye.